If you can figure out a better way to put that much on there. All right, welcome back in. We're battling here. Mike Stoll, it's always good to have him on the show. This segment brought to you by Benedict Construction. BCKnoxville.com is their website. It's easy for me to tell you about companies that I use. And all you have to do is look at our beautiful set, and you will see that, yes, we have used Benedict Construction. Now, imagine this, the dark wood, the stone, copper in your men's man cave. I started saying your men's room. In case you've got a home where you've got a men's room and a ladies' room. But they do commercial work as well. You can do that. But imagine this is your man cave, your living room. They do tremendous work. Benedict Construction. All right. And I want to welcome in the next member of our panel. I apologize. Josh Ward is right there, of course. Always good to have Josh with us. What we're going to do in this segment, and I'll start with Josh. We've got a depth chart over on our big board built by Benedict Construction. Here's the problem. It's hard to come up with a nice way to put that all on a 4x6 wipey board. So I'm simply going to ask you guys, are there any surprises that stood out to you on the depth chart yesterday? And we'll reference it. Josh, I'll start with you. Anything surprise you?
There was absolutely nothing that surprised me on it, other than Tennessee tried to list Derek Barnett as a freshman. They're trying to buy him more time. But it all came out as expected. Marcus Tatum being listed at left tackle as a true freshman.
And that would be row one, far right. I sank your battleship.
Yeah, but something that Mike will talk about, if there's offensive line changes because of injury, then you would start moving guys around, Coleman, Thomas. I don't think Tatum's playing yet. Shai Tuttle being on there is very notable.
That's a positive, having him on there. Mike, anything stand out to you?
I think if you look at Tuttle and McKenzie on the defensive front, those guys, so much, and this is coming from a player's perspective versus a fan's perspective, they got so much hype and so much pump when they were coming in. It is hard to come in to the SEC and learn to play. When you're that big, learn to play pad leverage and size and speed. Watched them last year, big, strong guys. They just think they can bull rush people. They have to start continuing to evolve their technique so that they get better. So not a surprise, but maybe to fans a surprise.
Chuck, anything?
Well, in looking at it, this really impresses me to look at that defensive end kind of in the middle of there where you've got Barnett and Kongbo, and I think that's going to be, we know Texas A&M has an outstanding, a couple of players. That really impresses me there. I would be concerned about no backup punter behind Trevor Daniel, though.
Yeah. You had one until he transferred to Florida. Mike Strange, your thoughts?
Well, given the way camp played out, it's not a surprise, but a few weeks ago, I wouldn't have thought Micah Abernathy would be the starting safety, but as camp went on, that became apparent that he was going to be.
I'll go in the same direction. A lot of hype last year about Rashawn Golden.
Yeah.
A lot of hype this year about Rashawn Golden.
Yeah.
And yet Rashawn Golden is listed as an or with Malik Foreman in terms of nickelback. There was some thought that he may move to safety, might be the number one guy at nickelback, but instead he's just slotted right there with Foreman. So that may be a little surprise to me that we put so much hype on this guy. And it's not, he's going to play a lot. My guess is he'll move around.
Yeah, and if I had to guess, I think Golden might be slightly ahead, but it continues to be a battle between those two.
Yeah, and I wonder how many people in the spring would have thought it's still going to be a battle going into the first game. So, to me, that's it. Very quickly.
For our hopes and fears section, going back, you better hope Trevor Daniel doesn't get hurt. They won't have a punter.
You got nobody else.
Just don't punt.
Never punt.
Don't punt.
You'd like that as an offensive lineman, wouldn't you?
No, because I would need a break every once in a while.
All right, very good. Thanks to all these guys. When we come back, it's just going to be this guy. And we're going to talk about, Josh mentioned it, some of the rotation and movement that can come to this offensive line. Mr. Stoll was one of the most versatile linemen ever at UT. We'll discuss with him what it takes to move so many guys around. Is that a worry on the offensive line? We got a lot more to come. Going back on the Sports Source.